Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in to hashtag Go Right News.
It's time for us to go right.
Welcome to hashtag Go Right with Peter Boykin. I'm here to bring you the latest updates and a focus on how our constitutional republic ensures our great democracy. Just a real quick recap. Kamala Harris's policy imitation. Kamala Harris running as a Democrat nominee for vice president has drawn attention for adopting a campaign policy originally proposed by President Donald Trump. Harris recently announced a plan to eliminate taxes on tips for service workers during a rally in Las Vegas, Nevada. This proposal mirrors Trump's earlier declaration to remove taxes on tips, raising questions about the originality of Harris's campaign. And we're just going to talk about how Biden and all them came in, tried to take out Donald Trump's policies, ruining things right off the bat, and then drew back and go, well, maybe we shouldn't have took away those policies. And then they brought back Donald Trump's policies, and they acted like they made the policies, but they didn't. The similarities between their proposals don't end there. Harris even chose the same city where Trump first introduced his version. Trump's reaction on Truth Social was swift, according to Harris, basically accusing Harris of being a copycat and lacking imagination. This move by Harris is particularly perplexing when considering her earlier support for an Inflation Reduction Act, which imposed stricter regulations on reporting service workers' tips. The contradiction in her stance raises concerns about her consistency on economic issues, because she don't know what the hell she's doing. Moreover, Harris's campaign has yet to present a comprehensive policy platform, contributing to doubts about her preparedness for leadership. Meanwhile, tensions are rising between Biden and Pelosi. Moving on to another significant development, tensions are rising between President Joe Biden and former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. That's right, she is a former. Reports indicate that Pelosi played a key role in the efforts to replace Biden as the Democrat nominee for the upcoming election. This has reportedly led to a breakdown in their relationship, with Joe Biden feeling deeply upset by Pelosi's actions. The friction between the two prominent Democrats came to a head after a debate performance by Joe Biden failed to meet expectations. Remember that? The press doesn't want you to remember that. Prompting calls for a change in the Democratic ticket. You know, putting Kamala Harris in, who's never ever received a vote at all, to be the nominee for president. Since then, Biden and Pelosi have reportedly not communicated, with Biden expressing his frustrations in a recent CBS News interview. Pelosi, on the other hand, made a public statement on MSNBC that appears to pressure Biden to reconsider his campaign, adding fuel to the speculation. Pelosi's involvement in urging Biden to step aside, as reported by anonymous insiders, reflects the high stakes and internal conflicts within the Democratic Party. The situation underscores the cutthroat nature of politics as party leaders navigate the upcoming election. And meanwhile, let's go and turn to the Kamala Harris and Tim Walz's education record. Finally, let's discuss the troubling education record of Kamala Harris's running mate, Tim Walz. While the Harris campaign, big difference, huge difference. While the Trump campaign promotes Walz as an advocate for education, his tenure as governor of Minnesota suggests otherwise. During his time in office, Minnesota's national education ranking plummeted from 7th to 19th. Under Walz's leadership, literacy and math proficiency in the state also declined significantly. Walz's administration introduces progressive curriculums and controversial policies such as mandating ethics studies for all K through 12 students and requiring public schools to provide tampons in boys' bathrooms. These actions have sparked criticism and raised concerns about the direction of the education system under his guidance. Now, critics within his own party, or his own state, like GOP State Senator Carla Nelson, argue that Walz has prioritized far-left demands over addressing real educational issues. The decline in academic performance and the implementation of controversial programs suggest that a Harris-Walz administration could exacerbate existing challenges within the American educational system. Now, here's an opinion note. It's important to recognize that the portrayal of Harris as lacking originality and the characterization of Walz's educational policies as detrimental are opinions expressed in my opinion, but we know what's going on. Additionally, the suggestion that Harris may continue to adopt more of Trump's policies is speculative and reflects a partisan viewpoint. There is a lot more to talk about, and full articles are on GoRightNews.com. This is just a small recap of all it all. Let's do the hashtag GoRightNews recap. So, Kamala Harris is recognizing that Donald Trump's policies are so good. They're so good. One could hope that she would adopt the build a wall policy. If Kamala Harris could build that wall and no tax on tips, the next thing she'll be talking about is let's make America great again, but she'll probably change it to, I don't know, she'll use another aneurysm, the allegory for MAGA. We already know that Biden had rolled back all of his issues that he had with Trump's policies, tried to rename them. And that's what the Democrats do. They don't have an answer. They don't have a memory. I think might be why the Republicans are elephants, because we can remember stuff, and the Democrats are donkeys because they're a bunch of asses who can't remember shit. Honestly, jack shit. And that's just how it is. And then when we come down to the Pelosi and Biden tensions, hey, you know, they came to their senses. They understood that Joe Biden was not somebody that they could continue on as a candidate. But really, was democracy saved at the end of the day when you ignore all the votes that you had in the primaries? Because people voted for Joe Biden. You pushed for Joe Biden to be on the ballot. You pushed anybody else from being able to be on the Democrat ballot that nobody else was allowed to be voted for. They didn't give anybody else a shot. And then at the 11th hour, you throw in Kamala Harris. And like there was a comedy, Kamala Harris is Indian, right? And so somehow Kamala Harris has pulled the biggest Indian scam on America by getting elected to be the presidential nominee for the Democratic Party without one single vote for that position by an American citizen. That she has become the biggest Indian scammer, scamming over 250 million whatever people in America without one single vote. Think about that one. And meanwhile, they're trying to brush aside Kamala Harris's running mate's horrible record. Yes, he's bold, he is loud, and he's obnoxious. He is a Democrat Donald Trump. But the man has done nothing. And all you have to do is look at these people's records, see how they have caved things into the ground, where they've come from, and instead of fixing things, they create problems. Then try to solve those problems, which causes even more problems to begin with. But that's what's going on. Thank you for tuning in. Please share this. And I'm asking you, go to rumble.com, look up Go Right News on rumble.com. It's Go Right News, basically rumble.com/Go Right News. I'm also on Kick, KICK.com/Peter Boykin. I stream there as well. I've got a YouTube channel. I'm on Spreaker as well. I'm also on Spotify and other places. Everywhere you see hashtag Go Right with Peter Boykin, please share, like, whatever you can. Go to the website, gorightnews.com and peterboykin.com. And if you can, please, if you have any money, because not anybody has any money, please donate. It cost me over $100-some, almost $200 a month to do everything. I'm not making any money off of it. Nobody is astroturfing me. Nobody's paying me to promote anybody. This is what I do, and I do way more than just sit in my car and talk on a phone. Every day, constantly. It's a expensive hobby, but I like to do it. But if you'd like to contribute, please do. Thank you for tuning in to hashtag Go Right with Peter Boykin, where we provide you with news and analysis rooted in a commitment to our constitutional republic and the principles of liberty. Stay informed, stay enlightened, and let's work together to ensure a strong and united America. God bless everybody. Peace.
Kamala Harris. After much self-reflection, I have come to the realization that there is one thing very Indian about you, and that is that you became the Democratic nominee without a single vote. Bitch, you pulled the biggest scam of all time. No Indian I know, from the call centers to email phishing, no Indian I know has scammed 250 million people. Not bad, Kamala. That's pretty good numbers. If you manage to actually win the election, you will have pulled off the biggest Indian scam of all time. From here on out, your new name is not Camel Toe actually. It is now Scamala. Scamala Harris.